Always attempt a one-call close. To cold call or not to cold call. Prepare to win or lose to someone who is. Simple strategies beyond Facebook that drive massive traffic and leads to your website and landing pages. 6 ways to make people like you. The groundwork for a simple sales model. Faith, visualizing and believing in the attainment of desire. 4 cornerstones of sales success. Selling to people's problems. The question is the answer. These books are just a few of the resources that I use on a regular basis to do a pulse check of where I am as a sales professional. As amazing as these authors and these books are, and as much as I would love to just meet one of them and get one bit of advice to learn how they grew their business and how they became who they are today, there's still one theme that's missing in all of these. And that's, how do we stay relevant for a constantly changing sales environment? Look, it's no secret, our entire world is digitized. We are consuming more and more information over our cell phones, over our phones each and every day. But the fact remains, selling the way we did in the 70s, 80s, and 90s and early 2000s is not the same way that we can sell now and anticipate the same success that we experienced. We have to not be afraid to digitize our approach and change things up. It is now more important than ever to get immediate value to your potential client, to your prospect, to that decision maker you hope to do business with. It's far harder now to show up in person in a suit and tie with a clipboard and say, I have a proposition here that could save you X, Y, Z. Can I have 20 to 30 minutes of your time? And to do that activity over and over and over and over again until you hope to speak to the person in charge, just to be let down by a no. Or to be pulled in by a yes that is eventually rescheduled 3 to 4 times before they ghost you. Guys, these are sales activities that we've adopted over 40 to 50 years that worked phenomenally well because people were invested in building relationships with people face to face. That's how business was done. But now we live in a digital age. And as amazing as these books are, they don't talk about how we have to modernize and digitize our exact prospecting methods. We miss the prospecting method altogether. In fact, 2 of these books referenced in here discuss prospecting as if it is something that you have to do, and that's predominantly most of what you're doing, 45 to 60% of the time. I argue that yes, prospecting is critical, but we need to do it smarter and then duplicate those efforts as much as we possibly can. Because at some point, the reps you have working for you, all they're going to be doing is working for activity, not for revenue. Not to better themselves. We wonder why there's such a high turnover rate in the sales world. It's because the reps aren't challenged and they're confused as to what exactly it is that they're supposed to sell and do in the sales cycle. I want so badly to be the person that changes the face of outside business-to-business sales. I've seen that what we have done over the last 40 to 50 years has worked and it has slowly dropped off. But there's been no change in momentum on the side of sales professionals and organizations to make a change to actually make the sales more effective now for modern technology and again, the digital world that we live in. A lot of us on our iPhones get an update weekly. It usually comes on a Sunday or Monday as to how much time we spent on our screen, on our phone screen, the week before. So in the week before, I think this last week, I spent an average of 12 hours a day looking at my phone. I use my phone strictly for business, reading articles, and staying up to date in technology and understanding how the world of sales and changes. But the fact is, I'm consuming this content over my phone. I'm not buying a newspaper. I subscribe to the Washington Post. I subscribe to these different newsletters, but I'm reading it from my phone. If you own a business and you see your data analytics and you get an analytic report or an analysis report of how your website is being consumed, you can see iOS, smartphone devices, you can see whether it was done from a computer. You can see all that content now. But yet we still have companies out there who want to go door to door to door and to pitch their products in an old-fashioned way with a clipboard. And I respect that, and I really respect it when it works. But what I'm telling you is it doesn't have to take 16, 18, 20 contacts before you get a yes or a no. I'm not promising you a bunch of revenue. If you're terrible at sales, you're still going to be terrible at sales no matter how many appointments you get. But what I want to do is I want to give you the at-bats. What I want to do is I want to give you the opportunity to make more for your business. But even more important than that is I want to give you the opportunity to make a greater impact with your product and with your service to your prospects. I have a way to do that. If you would, in 2 weeks, I'll be doing a webinar. If you're interested in this webinar, simply comment below, yes. Yes, I'd like to attend. Yes, and I'll be happy to send out an invite to that webinar to you where we dissect this directly and I get feedback from you guys on what you feel like works for you. I want to make sure that we can put something together that we're able to duplicate the efforts on and make work. I have a method that I've used for several years and it showed proven success that I was able to get the appointments that I needed to get to the success that I wanted to achieve. I simply introduced digitization to my sales process and I cut out 14 to 16 contacts prior to actually getting just to a yes or no response of whether I'll meet with you or not. That proved to be game-changing for me and I want it to be for you as well. So join me in 2 weeks. Let me know if you're interested in this. I would love to meet with you personally in that webinar. We'll talk real soon. Thanks.